Welcome to Redford Trading Post. How can I assist you? I can track it down for you. You're working for that skeever in Thoras? The last shipment he brought through from Cyrodiil was rotting minotaur heads. The wagon stunk so badly we had to burn it. You know, I should toss his shipments on arrival. I'm not interested in whatever shady deal you have with Thoras. If you want the crate, go take it. But he already paid for its transport, and that won't be refunded since out in the back with other impounded shipments waiting to be destroyed. Tell Thoras that the next time he brings in a shipment from Stonefalls, he better have it inspected before it arrives in our trading post. If the shipment isn't destroyed already, it'll be in a pile near the waterfall.
My trusty courier! Did you have an exciting trip? Was it the import taxes again? I thought I paid those weeks ago. I was hoping that would hasten the process. My client is not exactly a patient woman, and I do not wish to upset her. What? Why? This is incredible. It's just common mushrooms and kwama jelly from Stonefalls. Nothing to... Kwama? No, this is no good. I don't need that here with all my other fragile shipments. Look, can you run this out to Alyxe right away? She'll have your payment. And try not to stare at her. She's easily distracted.
You reek of kwama juices. Why don't you come inside and spend some time with your granny Alyxe? I'll have a hearty, chunky brain stew ready soon. Or do you like it spongy and raw? What? Oh, from that netch scab in Thoras? It's late. It's so very late. I've resorted to eating. Of course I want it. Just pour it in the stew there, and if anything escapes, feel free to gobble it up as a tip. If you want, you can spend time with your old granny Alyxe while the eggs pop and ooze into the sauce. You didn't drop a single one. I'm impressed. Come to think of it, I don't care to keep company with your old granny Alyxe. Or is it the smell of the boiling kwama? A little too heady for your delicate sensibilities? Oh well, I'll enjoy it all for myself. I always do. Why are you still here? You like what you see, hmm? Want a supply? You need something, eh? A tonic for your soul. You didn't come to see your old granny Alyxe to sit on her lap and hear a story? Didn't want to play count the words, eh? Get out of here or jump in the stew. The choice is yours, Skeevert.
We were orphaned. Haven't been able to rely on anyone but ourselves since. This sap will give Dane a fighting chance. Let's go, while I'm still conscious. Can't hardly keep... I still can't believe you came along. Dane's not looking good. I need to get him out of here. Don't think either of us would have made it if you hadn't come along. I don't say this very often. It's all we have to hold on to right now. I have my doubts, but I need to stay strong for Dane. But even so, we've got the sap, brother. One trip to the alchemist, and you will be right as rain.
Dariel, I didn't think I'd see you again.
We're sticking together from now on. I promise.
Azura's champion returns. I saw you in my visions. You stood atop a mound of corpses, destroying daedra by the hundreds. At long last, yes. I gazed through an ocean of screams, and, well, I won't frighten you with the particulars. Suffice it to say, my first visions were... Wait, what's that?
They're going to find me and kill me. I just know it.
How may I serve? It depends where you need to go. This is a working ship. We don't traverse all of Tamriel's seas. From here, we travel to Stros Makai. A bit tricky, but we should be able to make it before the weather changes. Or you could head into the city. Have you been to Betnik? I can get you there in one piece. Most likely. From here, we travel to Stros Makai. A bit tricky. How may I serve? She should be back on Stros Makai, securing a new crew. I can take you there if you wish. There was a vigorous dispute between the captain and her old crew. Tumasha knows the whole story. She's below decks, if you'd like to know the details. How may I serve? She should be back.
Look at that, Lambor. Our half-drowned friend is up and about. We weren't sure you'd make it. Really, I just fished you out of the water. Master Kassan got you breathing again. The important thing is you're alive. But if you're feeling grateful, a job. Anyone who helps is going to get rich. Right now, I need a fresh face. Someone this island's butcher in charge, Headman Bosek, doesn't know and won't stop. The 3 folks I need are crafty Larissa, Jakarn, and Naramo. Any or all of them would do. He's a thief, but he's the best there is. He'd be a big help in the heist I have planned. Problem is, he robbed Bosek. Nobody robs Bosek. He's been tossed into the grave under Bosek. There's an entrance off the river under the palace. Watch out for traps and the other prisoners. They're all murderers down there, the worst scum on the island. That's the grave. You can leave anytime you want, if you can get out alive. Bloody Bosek, or Headman Bosek as he calls himself now, he took over the palace years ago, killed the old ruler and took his place. Captain Helene, but she's worse than Bosek. Her sea drakes run Saint's Port south of here, biggest band of murderers on the sea. Bosek and Helene tolerate each other. Neither's ready for a war. The Screaming Mermaid's just up the road, and they've always got good rum. Just keep a grip on your coin purse, or you'll be a beggar by day's end. Bosek's thugs, the bloody fists. Cross one, you cross them all, and Bosek will have your head on a pike faster than you can say, "Please, don't put my head on a pike." Deserted, the traitors. See, there's a fortune to be made from Breton galleons. Thing is, King Farharajad called for an end to it now that we're all part of the Daggerfall Covenant. Of course. Ruler of the Red Guard people, now king among equals in the Daggerfall Covenant. King Farharajad would have us raid the ships of our enemies. If by disagreed you mean tried to kill us, then yes. Bunch of bloody mutineers. Lambor, myself, and a few others ran them off the ship, but word spread. No one here wants to sail with a captain who won't raid Bretons. Look for the entrance to Bloody Bosek's dungeon beneath the palace.
Piss off! Find your own junk pile.
My poor Jakarn. I don't want to think about what they're doing to him down there. He's a prince. He doesn't belong in the grave.
It's beneath the palace, and anyone thrown in dies there.
Jakarn said traps, guards, and other prisoners prevent that. Jakarn said there are rows and rows of traps, and everyone down there, except for Jakarn, is a vicious murderer. No one's ever gotten out. Yes, from Westry. How I long to travel there with him. He described it as bright. What kind of a question is that? My true love has been cast into a dark pit to die. If I thought I could get past the traps, I would go in after him. I can always buy another dress.
guard. You have to help me. Well, that's perfect. Get me out of here and I'm at your service. You'll find me a man of many talents. If I found a handsome guy locked in a cell, I'd free him. Is that really important right now? Sure, I took that gem, but he took it from some poor merchant. Tossed him in here to die. Can't steal from a thief, can you? I owe you for this. Thanks. Now, let's get out of here. You first.
Tears of Seth. What you
Go that way. Irians out there. Oh, and guards. I saw many, many guards. Look, let's slip out of Thanks for breaking me out back there. Listen, while you're in a heroic mood, want to help me get something I left with the goblins? I figure if you want something kept safe, give it to the goblins. They'll watch it for free, they're too stupid to trade it, and they'll kill anyone who tries to take it. Here's the thing, you went through a lot of trouble to free me, right? There's no way you'll let me get eaten by goblins, so you, my good friend, will follow me to their mine, yeah? This way. I'll meet you at the door. I unlocked the door. Now we can retrieve my gem. I'll see you inside. It's as pretty as a thing can be, and as big as my 2 fists. They store everything on the upper level. Keep up. not keeping score. This is the part where I trust you. This is the part where I trust you. I'll kill the goblins in the scaffolding in the next room. You grab the gem. It's in a chest on the floor. There's a passage on the far side. Take that and meet me outside.
Over here. I have a question for you. What were you doing in the mine? And did you see a scummy Breton up there? Yakarn. He's a liar and a thief. He stole a gem from headman Bosek. Now, if the gem came back, Bosek might let him live. Can you help me, or not? I knew you were a smart one. Smarter than Yakarn. You just saved his life. If you see him again, tell him to leave this island and never come back.
Under Covenant control once more.
If you're looking for that bastard Yakarn, he's at the tavern with a Redguard girl. I overheard him telling a Redguard girl he'd whisk her off to Sentinel, that he was a ship captain. She swooned like a fool, like I did. I'd tell the headman where he's hiding if I didn't hate the headman more. I need off this island!
No.
Glad to see you made it out. Well, that's a shame. Still, getting Muglurkle off my trail is a good trade. She's relentless. I'll be honest, I'm just a little hurt. But since he saved my life, we'll call it even. Seeing as it's you asking, sure. If she's planning a job, I'm in. All I ask is a trip off this rock after it's over.
You! Hey, you! Hey, you!
Yeah, you! Ha! I didn't think I'd ever find you. You move around. I'm Kaleen. I work for Captain Kaleen. She sent me to find you, see if you'd had any luck recruiting for our heist. Looks like you're already making new friends. And listen, just so you know, we're set up in a hideout near the docks. Come find us when you finish recruiting. Look for Lambour outside the door. There's 3 folks Captain Kaleen wants to help with her heist. Crafty Larissa, Jakarn, and Naramo. She told me about him. Who do you want to know about? She's in Saintsport. The Sea Drakes lured her ship onto the rocks. Those bastards really know how to ruin your day. It's south of Port Hunding. Look for the big light. He's a brilliant Dwemer sage. Not that he's Dwemer himself, but he studies them. He's out of Bithzark, digging in the ruins there.
Craft a pair of homespun gloves. You'll need refined jute and a style material. You know, I'm a master clothier, yet I still own a pair of homespun gloves. Wonderful! Now for deconstruction. There's much to learn from breaking down your own work, even more so with someone else's creation. Head to a clothing station and deconstruct your gloves. You'll regain some components, of course, but the real trick is to deconstruct. It's a fancy way to say take something apart. The term originally came from Altmer poetry critiques. Hi, Elf. Take the homespun gloves you made and deconstruct them at a clothing station. Let me... You're more than capable with needle and thread. I'll be proud to call you my... Already done. You'll now be able to fulfill clothier crafting writs, and I look forward to seeing more of your work. Truly, I never expected to master 3 crafts. Of course. What do you want to know? I can explain how to craft stronger items with more materials, tell you about the improvement of existing items, or discuss... You can easily create more powerful weapons, armor, and shields. Simply increase the amount of refined material during an item's creation. Of course, you can greatly improve weapons, armor, and shields with certain rare materials. These materials are you. Bring any tempers you find to a blacksmithing station. You can improve the quality of forged weapons or heavy armor. A word of warning, unless you have enough temp. Some weapons, armor, and shields possess rare traits that distinguish them from others. Every kind of item has its own unique set of traits. Once you research a trait, bring any item with a trait to the appropriate crafting station and research it. You'll lose the item in the process, but you'll learn the trait. The more traits you already know for an item, the longer new traits take to research. Plan accordingly. You can greatly improve weapons, armor, and shields with certain rare materials. You'll want to bring resins to a woodworking station and use them to improve the quality of a bow, staff, or shield. But without enough resins, you risk losing the item in the process. Taking a chance, you can easily create more powerful weapons, armor, and shields. Simply increase the amount of refined material during an item's creation. Of course. What do you want? Fair question. I was an apprentice clothier in the Imperial City, but my old armies need all kinds of weapons and armor. You learn to pick up a few skills along the way. Also, enemies who Of course. What do you want to know?
Our business is no concern of yours!
That's all you got? It'll take more than that to fell Lyris Titanborn, you bastards!
Nothing like a quick battle to get the heart pumping. But I'm surprised we haven't faced more opposition. Coven must be preoccupied. Wasn't expecting to fight vampires, though. Did you find anything interesting? A blood fiend. You don't usually run into them in this part of the world. Let me see the note. Huh. There's that word again. Lucrative. And what's that about us? I don't like the look of that. It feels wrong. The Skull King's mages will want to examine it. In the meantime, we need to figure out what the Coven is up to. And just one. A note from a merchant named Goharth Ironbelly. Found it on these vampires. Ironbelly is apparently supplying something the Coven requires, but the note doesn't go into details. It says we can find it. The note said Ironbelly does business at the Withered Tree Inn. This way. Once we spot Ironbelly, we'll follow from a distance until he leads us to the Coven. Ironbelly's note suggested he'd meet with the Coven after he did some business in this inn. When he arrives, don't do anything to alarm him. We want the merchant completely at ease when he leaves to go rendezvous with the witches. Just mill about and try not to draw attention to yourself. Honestly, I'm more comfortable with the direct approach, but we need to play this carefully.
Welcome to the Withered Tree. Good luck getting any actual help around here.
And what have we here? You're a strapping lass. Let old Ironbelly buy you a drink or two? What do you say?
Not interested.
Not interested? Goharth Ironbelly never takes no for an answer.
Go away, little man, before I break you.
I beg your pardon, but things will be different after that witch lives up to her promise.
What are you waiting for? Follow Ironbelly, but don't get too close. I already made him nervous enough for the both of us.
No handouts today. Get lost!
Selling, buying, trading, right here!
You again. Get out of here before I call the guards.
never fails. Follow a rat, you wind up in a sewer. Why my sewers always smell so bad? God, when we find Ironbelly, I'm gonna cave in his head for dragging us down here. My armor will never be mistaken for a bed of roses, but you followed Ironbelly, I followed you. Come on, let's find that slimy merchant and see what he's doing down. Thieves and murderers aren't the only scum that inhabit the Ratway. The local Jarl keeps sealing the entrances, but it never stays closed for long. It would make a perfect lair. No, damn it! Sneaky bastard. He rigged the gate to lock behind him. Look, don't wait for me. Find Ironbelly.
Were you followed, Ironbelly?
I thought I saw someone, Sister Barla, but I lost them.
And have the arrangements I requested been made?
The flyers have been distributed. And your friend with the fangs?
Busy, I'm afraid.
You promised the vampire would turn me! Make good on our deal, or I'll report this to the Jarl!
You will do nothing of the sort. Greedy fool outlived his usefulness.
This place is amazing. Wait, what happened? I hope Ironbelly told you something before you killed him. So what happened? Did you get too close? Did he attack you? Damn. That must have been one of the Ice Reach Coven witches. Any idea where she may have gone? That's not much to go on, but it's all we have. I'll meet you at the cart outside of town. All right, the cart's ready. Now tell me what else you found out down in the Ratway. Let me see that. Huh. Another lucrative opportunity. But this time we know where they're leading people. To an isolated inn somewhere in Eastmarch. Did you hear anything else that a vampire? Working with the Coven. That would explain the strange blood fiends in the Ratway. We'll worry about that later. Right now, we have to get to Eastmarch and find that. The cart will take us to the Grinning Horker in Eastmarch. Hop aboard and we can get along. I don't want to give the Coven any more of a lead than they already have. Answers, I hope. That's what Yorn the Skald King sent me to find, after all. The witches of the Ice Reach Coven are definitely up to something. Luring unsuspecting folk with promises of wealth. We saw what happened at those ritual sites. Tempted to a desolate area in Eastmarch, most likely to be subjected to more of those strange rituals. If that doesn't scream danger, I don't know what does. Will you accompany me, my friend? I'd appreciate your... If you're ready to travel to the Grinning Horker, climb aboard the cart. We'll be in Eastmarch before you know it. Good idea, but so far the pieces don't tell a complete story. We found evidence of the Coven luring people with promises of gold so they could experiment on them. Ritual items, vampires, and strange blood fiends. What does it all mean? I've seen similar totems, but nothing exactly like that witch pike. It disturbed me just to look at it. It appears to be a key component to their ritual, though the Skull Kings... The Ice Reach Coven consists of witches and warriors of the Reach loyal to their cause. I never saw a connection to vampires before. Maybe the bloodsuckers are... You saw what I saw. Those feral creatures were near some of the ritual sites, and each site appeared to be a slightly different... We need to walk from here. Follow the path up the mountain. Place looks empty. Let's talk. Nothing waiting to impede our progress? No guards? No witches? Nothing. Just a lonely inn on a desolate hillside. I expected answers. Ironbelly sent people here for a reason. They have to be someplace. If we don't pick up the Coven's trail, I'm not sure we'll find them again in time to stop whatever the witches have planned. Anything that points to what the witches are up to. We need to determine the full extent of the threat. Let's explore the inn and look for any clues as to what happened to the people they lured here. With luck, that may lead us to... Bedrolls. For those who came for the lucrative opportunity. I wonder where they are now. I've never known a Nord to abandon a meal while there's still food on the plate. Fresh blood. It leads to that hatch. Great. The trail leads into the basement. Empty. That's not right. There must be a secret passage. See if you can find it. Nothing important. Definitely not a secret passage. I knew there had to be a secret passage. Let's see where this goes. How far down does this tunnel lead?
Stay away! I won't go back! I won't! You aren't one of the Reach Witches?
We're not.
You have to help me.
Talk to it. I'll take a look.
We were in the Hawker, waiting for them to tell us how we were going to make a pile of gold, when they ordered us to go to the basement. When we saw the Reach Witches, a few of us tried to fight. I slipped away before anyone noticed. They're doing something terrible down here. Something monstrous. Please, you must help the others.
thought it was just an old legend. Blackreach. The world below Skyrim. Every Nord child hears the stories. How another world stretches... What else could it be? Whatever it is, it's a perfect hiding place for the Ice Reach Coven. We need to get down there and find the witches. We must put a stop to whatever evil the Coven is planning. Poor man is frightened of...
Set us free! All of you, follow me! We'll sneak out once the coast is clear.
Ulfrid, you need to hear what I have to say.
Thank the 8 you came along. We were next in line for the witch's ritual. Please. I saw the witches put some poor sods into a circle, surrounded by evil-looking pikes. They chanted and called forth a strange black storm. It killed some, but turned most of the people. There's a dwarven ruin west of here. Sister Balra has been using that as her personal domain. If she's around, that's where you'll find her. Damn it. I needed work. A lucrative opportunity was too good to pass up. It seemed strange when they marched us into the basement. We tried to fight, but there were too many of them. Kralt got away, though, I think. I just hope he made it to safety.
I got back as quick as I could. Other than a few skirmishes, I didn't uncover anything important. What about you? Tell me. 2 things I wholeheartedly approve of. I carved a path through a number of witches and vampires myself. Sure as bones there are a lot of these bastards. This is it. This must be what the Skald King is worried about. A ritual that produces harrow storms. Magic that turns people into a new kind of blood fiend. A harrow fiend. I wish I knew whose head I had to remove to stop this. Sister Balra? The same witch that killed the merchant back in Riften. I'd definitely like to get my hands on. A Windhelm sentry? Down here? Hey!
That lying,
are you all right?
manipulative witch. She stabbed me. The Reach Witch, Sister Balra. We had a deal, but she got me. Listen, forget about me. I made a terrible mistake. Balra said she had something planned for hiking Yoren. Said I was loose, and... Please, I think she...
Idiot! Sells out the Skald King for a handful of gold. Assassinating the Skald King would be a terrible blow to Skyrim and the Pact, but I assumed the Ice Reach Coven had a grander plan than that. Nevertheless, we have to save Yoren. A deathbed confession? That tells me the sentry believed he put the Skald King in danger. I can't take a chance when it comes to Yoren's safety. Back to the wagon. We leave for Windhelm at once. The Palace of Kings. That's what the sentry said. Come on, we have to hurry. Housecarl, the Skald King, where is he?
Fresh from the warm southern lands.
I
You
can't
smell of
divulge such
salt and
information.
sunshine.
Even the great Lyris Titanborn must know that.
You look strong and capable. Good in a fight and brave enough to travel the world in search of adventure. If my assessment of you is even close to correct, I could use your help. The Kananlaika, the great games to honor the reign of King Yoren, fills the city with good cheer. When a king survives to his 10th year on the throne, we celebrate. But not everyone who has come to Windhelm is in a festive. The Stormfist clan hasn't been seen in a decade, but they returned for these games. Since then, there have been numerous injuries and a few deaths, and there are rumors of war. Let me know what you find. I don't trust these Stormfists. They were trouble a decade ago, and I know that they're trouble today. I feel it in my bones. I am the Thane of Windhelm. My father was captain of the guard. I followed in his... What do I do? What don't I do? Rules and regulations. Meetings with King Yoren and other Thanes. Now I'm hosting pack delegates. Yes, they've come for the celebration. but also to meet with King Yoren about pact business. I try not to get too involved. We don't like to talk about it. But Yoren wasn't the unanimous choice to ascend the throne. The Stormfist clan backed his challenger, and they have been associated. Yoren's brother, Fieldgore. He desired the throne. Normally, succession is determined by the crown of Freydis, but there were...
Who does Titanborn think she is? Demanding to see the Skald King. Whatever you and the half-giant think you found is irrelevant. The Skald King is safe inside the Palace of Kings. It's the most secure structure in all of Skyrim. Well, it's true that Sentry Darfel never arrived for his shift today. And High King Yoren is touring the palace, but that's supposed to be a secret. How highly irregular. But if this is true... King Yoren wanted to tour the lower levels. To check on the
Into the palace! Let's move! Okay. Details the distribution of troops throughout Skyrim. Look, they tore off the western holds. Key to the dungeons. Yorn wasn't up here, so let's search down there. Leave the Skull King alone, witch!
Yoren is ours! Bring a fast addition to our patron's forces! Enough of this! Now you will die!
Wanted to turn me into a monster. I've had enough of this dungeon. Let's talk in the throne room.
That's my report, Skull King. Our friend can tell you more.
Held captive in my own dungeon. If word gets out, I would be laughed off my rebuilt throne. And rightly so. On to business. Yes, so Lyris mentioned. Harrow Fiend, she called them. An ominous name. And that sister about vampires. I have known both decent and terrible folk burdened by that curse. Hafingr? High King Svargrim rules that hold from the City of Solitude. We don't see eye to eye, especially since neither of us will...
Svargrim and the people of Western Skyrim can be real pains in the arse, but they're still Nords. Despite the differences between their holds and ours, we won't... Not so fast, friend. Western Skyrim doesn't exactly get along with Eastern Skyrim. Politics can be a tricky business. Now we celebrate our victory, and let Yoren's scouts do what they do best. Meanwhile, I'll work with the Skald King to figure out how to approach Svargrim with this news. In the meantime, take... This isn't over, not from what we learned of the Ice Reach Coven. For now, though, we rest, and let the Skald King make plans. There'll be plenty of time to kill more Reach Witches. There hasn't been a single ruler in over 100 years. Jarl Svarter of Solitude refused to recognize Freydis as the legitimate heir. Ever since, Yoren rules over Eastern Skyrim from Windhelm, while Svargrim lords over the Western holds from his palace in Solitude. If the Ice Reach Coven has targeted Western Skyrim, it will take both nations to stop them. Train. Eat. Drink. Probably drink some more. But don't worry. I'll be ready when the Skull King...